doing very well with the hostages. We're in constant contact with the leadership. We are in constant contact with North Korea. We've actually worked out a time and a place which will be announced shortly.
Boy, that was news. Date and location are set. The commander-in-chief confirming these crucial details have been agreed on for his historic summit with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. This as South Korea's national security advisor is in D.C. meeting with his American counterpart, John Bolton. Here now is Gordon Chang, author of Nuclear Showdown, North Korea Takes on the World. So, Gordon, have you heard anything about time and place?
Well, the president himself a couple days ago said that he wanted this to be in the demilitarized zone, that zone between North and South Korea.
So one might assume that because he telegraphed the message that this was his favorite place, that that's where what they've agreed on.
That sort of makes sense. First of all, he wants to meet in South Korea, which is good. That's a concession from the North Koreans to actually step over the military demarcation line. Also, Kim, he's not going to want to be that long from Pyongyang. I mean, because he just is probably worried about what's going to happen.
He's a paranoid. He's right. Some might say paranoid schizophrenic. Now, maximum pressure, the campaign that led to his concessions, is still on. That is, a lot of people don't realize it includes actually boarding North Korean ships or ships that are going to or from North Korea.
Yeah, and this is important because we've got to cut off the flow of weapons that North Korea is selling, and that means we can cut off the flow of money going into North Korea. But there's a lot of things that we haven't done. We really haven't gone after North Korea's major power sponsors who've actually been helping North Korea.
As much as we have had in terms of concessions from the North, we could actually ratchet it up even further, and he knows that. Kim knows that.
He knows that, and that's really something in our back pocket, that Kim knows that if things don't go well at these talks, that we can start putting the squeeze on China and Russia, and that would have a big effect on him.
And that brings me to the critics, the people who say, oh, well, they're so naive in the Trump administration. They don't know how devious a fellow Kim Jong-un is. If I think of what Madeleine Albright did, and I think of what John Kerry did in terms of making concessions, and some would say appeasement to the North Korean dictators. And then I think of somebody like John Bolton or Mike Pompeo or General Mattis, and I realize these are not appeasers that Kim Jong-un is facing right now. These are people who know the score.
Yeah, and really the big issue here is going to be verification. If you're going to have a deal with the North Koreans, you've got to have the strictest inspections regime on Earth.
So how do we do that?
Well, it's got to be just in the agreement. It's got to be anytime, any place inspections. The reason why the Iran deal is really having troubles right now is because we're having trouble inspecting their military sites, because you have senior Iranian leaders saying, no, you can't go there. And there's a real disagreement between the International Atomic Energy.
So this means for whoever is doing the verification, free access to anywhere they want to go at any time they want to go there.
Absolutely. Because, on the Iran deal, you had 24 days you have to be a wait. We need to be able to wait 0 days, 0 hours.
Very quickly on the South China Sea, the Chinese once again going in there. We're not going to play the soundbite because we don't have time, but there you see how far away from mainland China are these islands that they've claimed as their own, and they're now militarizing these islands. What do we do about that?
Well, as Sarah Huckabee Sanders said yesterday, we've got to impose costs on the Chinese. It very well may not be confrontation near those islands, but there's a lot of pressure we can put on China in other areas. And by the way, David, our military planes were lasered by the Chinese in Djibouti in Africa. They've been lasering our planes in the South China Sea as well.
But haven't we played all our cards trying to get them on the trade issues and also get them to agree on North Korea?
There's so many things that we have not yet done, and that's what we have to do.
Like what, for example?
First of all, the one thing we need to do is stop military-to-military relations with China, because, this benefits the Chinese much more than it helps us. It's a sign that they think that we are actually weak. We just need to say, look, no more. We're not going to give you anything anymore. And there's a lot of other stuff that we can do. You can start turfing out diplomats, all sorts of things. They injured 2 American servicemen in Djibouti. There's got to be a cost for that.
We've got to stop that. Gordon Chang, great to see you again. Thank you very much, my friend.